Call the Planning Commission meeting to order, and we have the Pledge of Allegiance, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, can we have the roll call, please?
Commissioner Dixon?
Here.
Commissioner Schaefer? Here. Commissioner Huffman?
Here.
Chairman Good?
Present.
Commissioner Sowers?
Here.
Commissioner Seward?
Here.
And Commissioner Nowak?
Here. Okay, there is a statement that I need to read for this meeting in your agenda book. This meeting of the Town Planning Commission is being held pursuant to the April 13, 2020 ordinance for continuity in the government of the town of Luray. The town manager shall read the names of the commission members present and identify those who are electronically present. The town manager, Steve Burke, is responsible for receiving public comment, which may be submitted by mail, email, phone, or hand delivery by 5 p.m. on the day of the meeting. This meeting can be viewed live on the town's Facebook page, and a recording will be available on the town's YouTube channel. Minutes from the meeting will be posted on the town's website after being approved by the Planning Commission. Okay, that being said, it is very good for us to be here to have our meeting.
Are the minutes approved by the town council or the planning commission? It says being approved by the town council.
I apologize, that was a copying error.
We added it down.
So we do get to approve our own minutes, right?
Yes.
Ronnie just read that so seamlessly, like it was
Yeah,
written that way.
I made some notations. Okay, well again, it is good to be here to have our meeting. We missed having these in April and May, but good to be here on June 10th. Okay, we do have our minutes from that meeting on March the 11th. Are there any additions or corrections to those minutes? If not,
Approve the minutes that's submitted.
Second.
all those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, I might just mention at this point that if there are some folks that are viewing our meeting on Facebook, Planning Commission makes recommendations to the town council. There are 7 commission members that are here, appointed by the town council. And again, our job is to consider the issues that come before us and then make a recommendation to the town council. If it's a public hearing, we have ours, and then the town council will have a similar public hearing. And after that, the council will decide either to approve or disapprove, whatever the matter might be.
Not for sure about that.
Our first matter then for discussion is a public hearing. The application is for a special use permit to permit a residential use for a single-family dwelling that's in the business district. And this is outlined in Code Section, Town Code 406.2, Section H. As always, the adjacent property owners have been notified. Public hearing has been properly advertised to come before us at this time. And we have the application, tax map info, Is there anything else we need to have at this time?
No, sir, I believe you have to go through the motions of opening the public hearing and closing the public hearing, but I will let you know that we did not receive any comments other than one individual called to say that they were fine with the application as presented.
I'll go ahead and do that, then I'll open the public hearing. But again, as Steve said, there were no emails or any other comments except the one you mentioned. So, close the public hearing. For discussion, again, we've got the application. This structure, I believe, was built as a single-family dwelling to start with, and it was used as a dentist office. And the request now is to use it as a single-family dwelling and it's located in the business district. Any questions or discussion that we have? It's pretty close to Tracy, isn't it?
Start with my neighborhood.
Yeah. It's on a residential street. Just happens to be his own business.
Was there a special use permit issued when it was built as a dwelling? That's not pertinent to our discussion, but I didn't realize it was a dwelling.
Well, I might have misspoke. It just seems like a dwelling when you go in.
It does. I don't know it's
Sim-
latest.
I just remember it being a dentist office.
I don't believe we have a record of an SUP being associated with the property.
Any other questions or discussion?
No, I did speak with some business owners around there, and no one had a problem with it being turned into a single-family home.
Well, I'll move that the planning commission recommend approval of the special use permit to the town council for the use of 4 Canaan Street as a residential, single-family dwelling in the B1 business district.
Support.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Can we have the roll call, please?
Commissioner Dixon,
Yes.
Commissioner Schaefer,
Yes.
Commissioner Huffman,
Yes.
Chairman Good,
Yes.
Commissioner Sowers,
Yes.
Commissioner Seward,
Yes.
and Commissioner Noack.
Yes.
Okay, the next matter is also a request for a special use permit. And this is to put a manufactured home in an R4 zone district. It is permitted under code section 404.2E.
I think that's mine to vote on.
Getting some feedback from somewhere.
Mr. Jewell, was that you?
Yes, it is.
Okay, yes, sir. The Planning Commission did vote to recommend approval to Town Council, so this will be on Council's agenda at their July meeting.
I appreciate that.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, gentlemen. Yes, sir.
You're welcome.
Got my friend for you. He's a good
Moving right along. Okay, again, on the next matter, it is to place a manufactured home in the R4 zoning district, located at 516 4th Street. And again, as usual, we have the application, tax map, info, copy of public notice. Were there any comments or any information?
No, sir. No, sir, and staff has recommendation for commission to consider this application.
Well, then again, I'll officially open the public hearing, but we know that there were no comments made, so we'll close the public hearing. I had a chance to ride by and take a look at the property, and I think in my opinion, a new manufactured home with this location would be very nice. It would definitely be an improvement
Yes.
to the building that's left there that was built in 1955.
So, Mr. Chairman, I'm trying to find it. Is the building that's there an old white structure
Yes.
behind a lot of trees? I wasn't certain. Yes, it would be a definite improvement in my opinion.
Any other information that you need, Steve?
No, sir.
I'm sure town water and town sewer is there available.
Yes, sir.
Motion to move that the planning commission recommends approval of the special use permit to the town council for the installation of a manufactured home at 516 4th Street as a residential single-family dwelling in the R4 high-density residential district.
Second. We have a roll call, please.
Commissioner Noack,
Yes.
Commissioner Seward,
Yes.
Commissioner Sowers,
Yes.
Chairman Good,
Yes.
Commissioner Huffman,
Yes.
Commissioner Schaefer,
Yes.
and Commissioner Dixon.
Yes.
Okay, the other two items are for continued discussion. The first one concerning the artisan manufacturing that we have considered before. As noted, the town council back in February had some concerns about these operations, about potential odors, noise, heat, and other emissions from this manufacturing. So the recommendation is, or consideration is to require a special use permit so that adjoining businesses would have an opportunity to present their concerns. Has anything changed with this?
No, sir. At your March meeting, we had planned to advertise for the April meeting, and because there's been such a lag, rather than try and do the public hearing, we wanted to give the commission a chance to talk about it, and then we'll proceed with advertising for your public hearing at your July meeting.
Any further discussion? If not, then I guess we're ready to proceed to advertise this for July. And the other one, there's a number of items here from the town attorney. And again, we have talked about this before. It's like most recently at our January meeting. Are we still waiting for something from FEMA?
Yes, sir. We've put in a few requests, but with the response to COVID and other things, we've not received any update on FEMA's review. So we'll continue to keep this on the agenda to provide you an update as we receive it.
We're on hold.
Yes, sir.
Okay, are there other items that can be brought up today, Bob?
A couple of items at the town council meeting on Monday. They are referring to planning commission for discussion at your July meeting. Consideration of an accessory dwelling unit to be considered in the R2 district, with the provision that the additional structure is located on the same lot as the main structure, and that independent water and sewer are available. This was considered by the town in 2009, and the town council turned it down at that time. There has been a property owner in the R2 district that has requested reconsideration of it, and council has referred it back to the Planning Commission for y'all's discussion at the July meeting. Other things going on, construction still continues at LFCC. We've not heard any update as to the schedule, but the last we had heard was that it was still potentially going to be completed by the end of the year. And then the, I'm sorry?
You mean, are they working out there?
I don't know.
Doesn't appear.
Doesn't appear that they're.
There's
But-
2 stories of steel. They were out there every day working. You know, usually doing steel, that's.
Yeah, they're on the
That-
deck, they're on the decking now and,
Yeah.
doing some other stuff, so.
2 or 3 weeks, they had a lot of steel out. That's, it's amazing how they do it.
The final item, and I'll let Brian relay some of the bad news we got about General Drive today.
Yeah, the town had accepted General Drive from basically the stop sign below Foxy's to Capital Road. And we had attempted to, well, we have been attempting to try to obtain the rest of it up to 211. Holtzman Corporation, Luray Liberty said, heck yeah, we don't want to own this road. Well, where do we sign? And we said, we're not there yet. It's only half. We have to have the whole thing. Both parties have to play ball. McDonald's Realty Corporation decided that they will play ball for the sum of $110,000 that we would pay them to take over 9,500 square feet of a road that we would then maintain forever. We said, no, thank you. Right now we're in the process of probably formally advising them that this is a private road. You are responsible for your half. If anything occurs liability-wise or maintenance-wise, that's between you and Liberty and Walmart. Have at it. So it doesn't look like that project's going to happen. So we're going to have a dead piece between US 211 and like we've had for a long time. It looks like it's going to remain. So that was unfortunate. And that's not Mr. Boxley either. That's not Al. That's McDonald's Real Estate Division, and the office is in Bethesda, but the agent works, she's in North Carolina. So Al's all for it, but he's just a tenant.
And we've had some dealings with him, and he's a very nice gentleman, and very business oriented.
And he understands the value of, it took Bill Holtzman about a millisecond to realize, once he realized he owned to the middle of that road, took him less than a second to say, heck yeah, you can have all you want. I was not aware of this at the time, but McDonald's Real Estate actually owns all of the real property. The franchisees only operate the building business. So it's like a tenant landlord relationship with them. So their main function as an international corporation was real estate holdings. And then they franchise out the operations of the restaurants, which I was not aware of that. I thought that the franchisee had the whole thing, but that's not the case.
So we cut down trees on their property that Al told us we could.
Well, you can always say, well, the tenant said it's okay. So,
Yeah.
But, yeah, I agree. He's a very astute business person, very easy to get along with.
That's all the updates we have, unless any of the members of the commission have questions for us.
So the traffic circle at front of the tower is on hold, is that right? I have an unusual question about that traffic traffic circle. It has a center, the center of the circle. Is that grass or concrete, or how large is that center of the circle?
It's typically about 40-foot
Yeah,
radius.
it's probably the center of this from the lower, where the chairs of power are right there.
Who
around the
owns
circle.
that circle?
The
town?
circle is in the right of way, it will be town property.
It'll be town property.
And it can have nothing in it taller than about that. Because you're not supposed to block the line of sight through the circle to the other side. There are some roundabouts that have not followed that requirement and have put all manner of things in the middle of theirs. But it does limit the line of sight, especially for smaller ones like this one's gonna be. So we're thinking like shrubs around the perimeter and then just like grass in the middle or something. Something easy to maintain.
Back on that accessory dwelling unit, that you say it's gonna come before us in July. Where is it located?
Well, it's a code amendment for the entirety of
Oh,
R2.
okay.
It was brought about by an individual property owner, but it would relate to all R2. And that's where the issue, I believe, that council had back in 2009 was that there were a number of garages that could be considered for transition to an accessory dwelling that were on independent lots in the R2 district, and there was a concern that by allowing a residence to occur, then there was the potential that someone would then try to sell off the lot that had their garage as a residential dwelling that would not meet our normal lot dimensions and setbacks.
Yeah, I misunderstood. I thought it was a specific location.
It was brought by a specific location, yes, sir, but it would have, the code amendment would apply to the entirety of the R2 districts.
Because I know we've had some of these before, but they must have been in R3.
Mhm.
North Court Street.
That's correct. R3 and R4 zoning, we've had ADUs submittals. We have had one that has been administratively denied since 2009 when it was applied for. And we've had one approved, which was on Jackson Street.
We have one on Luray Avenue,
And-
behind the elementary school, up that hill on the right. That we all went to visit.
Oh, yes, we did.
What, was that approved or denied?
I believe you recommended approval.
I think so.
Which one's this?
On Luray Avenue or 6th Street.
It was a Hope.
Yeah, Charlie Hope's son.
That's correct. That was a
Garage to be turned.
that was a garage, but from what I recall, I'd have to go back and look at that one. I'm not sure it made it to the second step. I don't know whether he withdrew the application between planning commission and council or not. He did build a garage, and part of the issue was that the garage was gonna it had a setback issue too. So I think he went to the BZA and got a setback component, but as far as I can remember, I'm not sure that the actual accessory dwelling unit process actually was completed through the town council. And I think we did go to the planning commission, but it must have been withdrawn with this. As far as I know, the only one we did was for Mr. Pettit down on North Court Street there, corner of North Court and Jackson. That's the only one that I know of that's been permitted since 2009 as an ADU. In Blue Ridge Avenue, we had an application, but it was in R2 district and could not be. That was, what's his name, lives in Forest Hills, Mr. Prince, asked about a house that he owned on Blue Ridge Avenue, but it was on R2, it was not eligible.
Okay, is there anything else that we need to bring up or any other updates?
Welcome back.
Thank you.
I will let y'all know that Town Council did approve Monday night a modification to the emergency ordinance so that your July meeting will be open to the public. It will be limited seating capacity, and we will continue to be broadcasting on Facebook.
And I believe that meeting is not till July 15th,
That is correct.
the latest we can possibly make. On a regular meeting.
If we do it this way, there's no excuse to miss a meeting. If you're on vacation, just call in.
Yeah.
That'll only be available for a couple more months.
Well, in that case, I think we have completed our agenda, so we stand adjourned until July 15th.